Thanks. Yeah. Good morning, guys. I hope you are able to hear me and see my screen.
Yes, Karthik.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Are there anyone who joined newly today? Do we have anyone who joined newly today? Yeah. I hope everyone is part of the previous classes. Okay. Now let's get into the class what we have discussed yesterday. So yesterday we started looking at synchronization, right? Can someone tell me what is exactly meant by array list is not synchronized, vector is synchronized? What is meant by that? What is synchronization in Java?
Yeah, synchronization means multiple thread can access at a time. Vector is
Okay.
synchronized.
What does it mean?
Means
It blocks the object for execution, sir.
at a time only one thread is allowed.
One thread on?
Object.
On
Yeah,
that
one.
particular object.
Yes. So if multiple threads are working and different objects, then it will work, right? Say when we have taken Karthik account and both the threads are working, then one thread is working on a Karthik account, other thread has to wait for that. That means because it has acquired a object lock. So when you are working with a vector, if it is a multi-threaded environment, and if multiple threads are working on the same vector object, only one thread will be given the access, and all other thread has to wait for the thread to release the lock, right? But whereas in the array list, that should not happen, right? And we have created quickly a custom array list as well, right? Sorry, custom vector. The change is the methods are vector synchronized, right? Now I also have asked you to look at the difference between comparable and comparator, right? Did anyone looked at it? What are the differences between comparable and comparator?
Yeah, Karthik. So, comparable is used for the natural sorting order, and the comparator is used for the customized sorting order. So, for
What?
example, integer implements the natural sorting order, and if you made a collections dot sort on integer object, like so, it will be automatically sorted in the ascending order. Uh, then the natural default sorting order in the comparable is the ascending order. So, in case if you want to uh, do our customized sorting order base, for example, if you take a student object or an employee object, and if you want to sort it based on the employee ID or employee salary, either in ascending order or descending order, we have to go for the customized sorting mechanism in for which we use comparator.
Okay. So you mean using comparable, I cannot do the student
We
ID
can do it.
sorting?
Yeah, we can do it. So in case if you want to do it with the comparable, we need to extend the comparable class to the student class, and then we have to override the compare to method in it, and then we can do a collection dot sort on uh, student. We can do it in comparable as well.
Okay. But when do we go for comparator? When do we go for comparator then? See, you're telling we can do it a comparator, we can do it a comparable, right? Then why do we have both? You get my question, right?
Yeah.
Using
So
comparator, we can apply sort on multiple fields, sir. Whereas in comparable, only on single field we can do the sorting.
Okay. Any other answers, anyone? Okay. First, let's.
Comparable,
Yeah.
means we can say the comparable if you want to natural sorting order, and comparator we can say custom sorting order. In case of comparable, we can say at a time only one field we can sort. In case of comparator, at a time, more than one field we can sorting we can do. And in case of comparable internally, we can say the compare to method get used. And in case of comparator, compare method will use. That is the difference.
Okay, now let's look at here. So system.out.println L. Now I want to sort this array list. Write a program to sort the array list. In order to sort it, you'll be using, you can use merge sort, quick sort and all that we will learn in the advanced data structures. But for now, we are using collections dot sort. So what is a collections? Collections is a class, correct? So collection is an interface, and wherever you are seeing it plural, yes, sir, that is a class. Why they have introduced this? To provide some static methods. So in this one, there is a sort method. Look at here. So using this sort method, it's a static method. So since it is a static method, I can call class name followed by method name. And then what is the sort method is accepting? List object. Now I'm passing L. Now after this, let me print it. So I'm printing the object before sorting. I'm printing the object after sorting. Now let's see what is happening. See, before sorting, do you see, it is not normal, some random order. But I'm getting, after sorting, after calling the collection.sort method, I'm printing 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 300. So can I say that I'm getting a sorted output by using
Yes.
this method? Yeah. Now can someone tell me what is happening internally? How the collection.sort method is working? Does anyone know?
Yeah, actually, integer object, it implements compare to method. I mean,
Okay.
internally, it's calling the compare to method of integer object.
From where it is calling?
Inside the sort method, collections.sort.
Okay.
Inside
Now,
the comparable. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
yeah. So now
We
let's
can
look at.
say integer is suppose wrapper class, and all wrapper classes by default implement is comparable interface.
So here, yeah. So this sort method is taking a list object, correct? L is a list object, array list object. So no issues. Now AMP list, is it also a array list object? But I'm getting a compilation error in line number 39. Any question, any guess why am I getting?
Because it is not implementing the comparable,
Which is not implementing.
the employee object, employee
Why
class.
it should implement?
So that's what, right? So in order, if you want to do give a natural sorting order, default sorting order for an employee object, we have to implement for it. Like, um,
Yes,
em-
but how the compiler is identifying that? Yes, your answer is right. I'm not saying anything, but how the compiler is identifying, correct?
Because
Because it will
employees,
show in the employee class, there will not implementing any
comparable will be the I mean, like super class for the employee in case if we implement. So basically, I believe sort method will look for the comparable object in it.
Yeah, if you look at, yeah, so now whenever you look at collection.sort, here I'm in line number 25, it is no error, and line number 39 there is error. So what is the fundamental thing here is, whenever you are calling the sort method, go to the sort method. Now see, list T here in the first line, in line number 25, what I'm passing? L. What does the array list is containing?
Integer.
Integer. That means, can I say this T is nothing but integer?
Yeah.
Now, is the integer extends or implements comparable?
Yes.
Yes.
Now let's go to the integer. Integer class is implementing comparable interface.
Comparable.
Then do you have a compare to method? Yes, correct.
Yes.
All the wrapper classes are implementing compare method.
Interface.
Yeah. What is the logic of this one? Ascending order, correct?
Yeah.
Ascending order. So now That means whenever you are looking at a sort method's signature itself is telling your generic should implement a comparable interface, correct? See here, T extends comparable. So you see, they're putting a T as a parent class. So that's the reason they're calling it as a extend. That means between your T, what is a T here? That means whatever the generics that you are passing, between the generics and the comparable, there should be an inheritance relationship, right? Now, let's come back to the, now, now let's come back to this one. What is the generics you are passing to the sort method?
Object.
What object?
Employee list.
Employee object. It's an employee list is a object, array list, which is internally having a generics as a employee. Now, do you have any inheritance relationship between employee and comparable?
No.
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 So that is the reason you are getting a sort. See, what does the sort method is checking? Between your generics. T is nothing but your employee object. Between employee object and comparable, there should be an inheritance relationship. So now, do you have that?
No.
No, that is the reason we are getting a compilation error, right? Now let's look at in the collection.sort method. For example, now you can pass, now if you go to the list.sort, let's go to the implementation. Array list. Now, let's go to arrays.sort. So let's go to this sort method. Internally, it is using a legacy sort method. Now, it is using a merge sort. So internally, arrays.sort or collection.sort is using a merge sort kind of a logic. Now, if you look at here, comparable. So that means if you're whatever you are passing a comparable object, that means if your superclass is implementing a comparable interface, from this logic, somewhere they will be calling your overridden method called compare. So now here in the integer wrapper class is implementing all the wrapper classes, not only integer, double, long, float, string, all these wrapper classes are implementing a comparable interface. Now let's see here. See, integer is a wrapper class. It is implementing comparable. Now when it is implementing comparable, where that's the logic will go? Compare to method. Now let's quickly look at, let's comment this and start debugging and see. Now I'm putting a breakpoint here. Let's see whether it will go to the compare to method of integer wrapper class or not. See here. Currently, I'm in a line number 25. From line number 25, what I'm trying to say here, I'm not getting a compilation error because my generics in the array list. What are my generics? Integer. Now, according to the sort method signature, if you see between the integer and comparable, there should be an inheritance relationship. Do I have that? Yes. Correct. So then automatically inside a sort method, wherever you are writing, inside a sort method, if you debug, if it is an instance of comparable, then they have a logic to call the compare method of your overridden. See. Now let's come back here. Now if I put F6, look at here. Am I coming to the integer dot class compare to method?
Yeah.
So this is the basic how the data is getting sorted. Now, what is the logic inside this compare method? The logic inside this compare method is to put the data in the ascending order. So this is how, see, it is, look at here. Whatever the methods I have written, it is getting called all the methods. Okay. So for each and every element in the array list, this compare method will be called and it will set the data into a ascending order. Why ascending order? The default implementation of comparable of all the wrapper classes is ascending order. Now, so now why do we use a comparable? Just to provide some order, like it can be a descending order, it can be ascending order. But if you look at the predefined Java classes, all the wrapper classes are implementing comparable interfaces and they will provide ascending order. If it is a double, integer, long, float, ascending order. But if it comes to a string class, how do you say, can I tell you that two strings are ascending or descending? How do I know?
Alphabetical order.
How does Java identifies that alphabetical order? Answer is right.
Okay, coach.
So now if I do, instead of integer, can I put string? Now if I print, if I do collection dot sort, what is the output? Collection dot sort. Okay. L1. Now I'll print the output. Can someone tell me what is the output? So now
Capital ACC, then small
capital
AZ,
A,
Small a.
capital
mm,
capital C,
mm,
then capital Z,
mm.
then small a, small c.
Okay. Why only like this?
I thought it's taking
Based on the ASCII values.
As is
Now then, now you tell me now. Or else let me take. Now you tell me which one will come. What is the order?
Like natural order.
Yes, natural order only. But what is the output? I'm asking about the output.
Capital C first.
Capital C first. Okay, then
Z, capital.
okay, then
Capital A.
Small a, capital A.
okay,
Small
Small a,
a.
capital B. And C.
okay, then
C.
why small a, small a, capital B, both are saying starting with small a, right?
yeah.
The
So
logic
if
here
both of
is,
them, then it will go for the second character.
yeah. So again, the same thing here. I'm not getting a compilation error because string class should implement a comparable interface, correct? Yeah, it is implementing. Now let's go to the compare to method, right? The compare to method. See, in the compare to method, whatever the one first and the second, V1, V2. So here, this is a logic, like they are calling the string Latin compare to method. Inside this compare to method, they are calling compare method. So they are checking first. Now, the way it will work is, see, this one is a string. Can I convert the string to a character array? S dot to char array, correct? Now, so now based on the ASCII value, the capital C is having a ASCII value first, 65, 66, 67. So after that, capital Z, after that, capital small c. Now, when it comes to capital, so now if you look at both, the first character is small a, both are matching with the ASCII value. Now, then it will compare the second character ASCII value. How does it get a character? So from this, I am adding a string. How to get a character from a string array? S dot to char array, correct? If you have a string, for example, hi, can I call to char array? This will give me the all the characters in the array format. Now for this small a, capital B, small a, capital A, since the first characters are same, then it will check the ASCII value of the second character. So I cannot call it as a ascending order. I cannot call it as a descending order. So that's the reason generally it is called as a natural sorting order. So what is meant by a natural sorting order? In case of integer, long, double, float, it is ascending order. But in case of string, natural sorting order means keeping the strings in the form of ASCII ascending. That means you will go by ASCII ascending. See, look at here. Right? So this is how it is working. Now, if I now what I have to do now, this is well and good. in my array list, if I have the generics as an integer or generics as a string, then I'm calling the collection.sort method. All the wrapper classes are implementing comparable interface and overriding the compare to method. That's good. Now let's come back to here. Now, if you have an employee object, now what is the first thing I want to do? Write a program to sort the employee list by employee ID. Now, I just need some people names. Can I have one or two names?
Ujjwala.
Yeah. Sorry, one person. Chiru and Ujjwala and one more person.
JP Nagam.
JP. Okay. So Chiru, JP and Ujjwala. Let me write here. So assume that we four people are working in the same company, same project. Okay. Now I got first Karthik is doing the development. Okay. Now he got a requirement like he has a list of employees and he want to sort the employees by employee ID. Listen to the question carefully. Karthik, Chiru, JP and Ujjwala are working in a same project, same company. Okay, they are project mates. Now, Karthik got a requirement saying that write a program to sort the employee list by employee ID. He is doing some logic. Okay, what is the logic? It doesn't matter. But that logic requires from the database, whenever you're getting a data, you are getting a data like this. So is this sorted now? 123, 122, 124, 120, 121, 125, 126. Is it sorted?
No.
No. It is some random order. Now for Karthik requirement, Karthik want to sort the employee list by employee ID. See, earlier if you have an integer, you have only one object. But now you have in the employee list, you have an employee object. Employee can have multiple characteristics, correct? Employee ID is one thing, employee name is one thing, employee salary. Now Karthik require a logic to sort the data by employee ID. Now what Karthik will do is, my main intention is to use the collection.sort method. But here collection.sort method employee list, I'm getting a compilation error. So what I know as of now logic is, whatever the generics that you are passing to the list object, between this one and then comparable interface, there should be an inheritance relationship, correct? Agree or not? So there should be an inheritance relationship between the comparable and then employee object. So, Karthik is implementing a comparable and I am overriding the compare to method. Now, whenever I am overriding the compare to method, in this compare to method, the Karthik will be writing a logic similar to this one integer class, but I'm using a employee ID field. Let's go to this one and then modify this. This dot get employee ID, and this is a O. O is nothing but given object. O dot get employee ID. This dot get employee ID. O dot get employee ID. That. So can I say now Karthik has implemented the comparable interface and overridden the compare to method. Now the compilation error should be resolved, right? Is it gone? Yes or no? Is it gone? Right. Yeah. Now let's print it. Sys out. Let's print employee list. After sorting, I'm printing. Let me print it before sorting also. Okay, let's run the program. Okay, I'm getting an output like this. Then what should I do? Sorry?
ToString method.
Implement the ToString.
Where should I implement it?
In the employee class.
Yes, that is a question. Many people will say implement the override the toString method, but the thing is where to do that. My generics is employee, correct? See, you are printing a list object. What is the list is containing? Employee. So in your employee class, you override the toString method. So this is the reason you in your projects you might be overriding the toString method, right? In logger, you will be writing system.out.println an object, right? Now here, what I will do here, return, I will say emp id is plus get emp id, correct? Plus similarly, emp name is plus get employee name plus emp salary is plus get emp salary. Done. I'll do the semicolon. So this is my, I just have written this. Now if I run the same program with this now. Okay. So now do you think, see, this is my output, correct? Let me copy this to a notepad and see. Now, so before calling the collection.sort method, let's see. First, what is the employee I got first? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 4. That means before calling the collection.sort, is it sorted by employee ID?
No.
No. But this is the second output is the one after sorting the, right? Now, if you look at here, is it sorted now? 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, and 1, 2, 6. Is it sorted now? That means whatever the Karthik assignment is done, it is done now. Now let us look at that. Now, since Chiru, JP, Karthik, Ujjwala are project mates, now let us take that Ujjwala got a requirement saying that sort the employees by employee ID descending. Okay. Now, Karthik's requirement was sort the employee ID by ascending. So Karthik has written what? Karthik has written, he has implemented in the employee class, I have implemented the comparable interface and overridden the compare to method. In the compare to method, I have written an ascending order logic. It's working. Now, in the same project, some other teammates are there. Now, Ujjwala got a requirement saying that sort the employees by employee ID descending. Now, what does Ujjwala should do?
He has to make use of the comparator.
Okay. Okay. Any other answer?
In the that method where positive one is there, we need to make negative one, and instead of negative one, we need to make positive one.
So, for example, the simplest answer everyone can think of is go to the employee list and just change this logic, correct?
Yes.
Here, instead of -1, keep it +1, and here +1, keep it -1. This will resolve the work. But who has written this code? Karthik has written. Now, see, Karthik has written this compared to method. That means he might be using in somewhere, right? If Ujjwala is modifying this logic, can I say that Karthik logic will not work?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it will get disturbed.
Does everyone understand the problem now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the simplest answer will say that, sir, go to the comparable interface and change the logic. If I change it logic, so Karthik is using this collection.sort somewhere, some logic. If Ujjwala is modifying the comparable interface logic or compare to method logic that Karthik has written, then Karthik code will not work. Is this the right approach?
No, sir, no.
Now what Ujjwala should do? She should write a code in such a way that it should not disturb the Karthik's code, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now that means this is a reason. So comparable is nothing but you will write by default logic. By default logic. Okay. If it is a wrapper classes, all the wrapper classes are using implementing a comparable interface and having a natural sorting order. Now, is it mandatory that I should write only ascending order in the comparable?
No.
No, it's up to that. That is the reason I am mentioning by default logic. That means, See, by default, whenever you look at, see, generally, when do we go for a comparable means? In the employee ID, what do you think the primary key? Employee table, employee ID is the primary key. So generally, what is the general logic you think? If I have 10 employees or bunch of employees, what is the general logic you sort the data?
Ascending order.
Employee ID ascending, correct? So general logic will be written in the comparable. Okay. See, there are two ways. All the wrapper classes are implementing by default natural sorting order. But if you are using a generic of user-defined objects, then what kind of a logic you will write in the comparable? General logic. That means employee ID ascending. But if someone is asking, can I do employee ID descending? Yes, you can write. But general logic will write. Now, in the same scenario, now, do you think that sorting the employee ID by descending, is it a rare requirement, or every time does this requirement will come?
Rare.
Yeah, that means not generalized, correct? And that means it's a custom one, right? Now, what Ujjwala should do? Ujjwala should make use of a comparator. Make use of comparator. Comparator comes into picture. So if you are not, already there is some logic is present and you want to write the logic without disturbing the comparable, then you go for a comparator. So that means comparator, you have to go for your own defined sorting or any custom sorting you want to do, you should go for. Now, how does Ujjwala should do? Now, what is a comparator? Can I create an object to a comparator?
Yes.
Yes.
How can I create? It's an interface, right?
Yeah. By implementing that comparator class.
So employee ID comparator. So Ujjwala should write a code like this, right? Employee ID comparator. Now, what she has to mention? Implements
Comparable.
Comparator. Comparable, it's already done, right?
Yes.
Comparator. What is the abstract method you need to override?
Compare
to method, right? Now, what is the logic she should write? Same thing, but descending order, correct? Now,
Yes.
copy this. Go here. So instead of this, I will say that.
O1, O2.
Yeah. O1, O2. O1, O2. Okay, done. Now, that means now can I say that Ujjwala has created an employee ID comparator. Now she can use it. Now the question is, how can I use it? Now, so now what? So now let's copy this. This code is as it is, right? Now Ujjwala is writing a code. Now, if you call by default sort method, this sort method is calling the comparable. But now, does Ujjwala need a comparable? No, she has written her own class, correct? Now, if you look at the sort method, how many sort methods are there? Look at here, 2, correct? The first one is taking list object. So if you are passing only a list object, by default, whatever the comparable implementation is there, that will execute. Now, if you look at the second one, second sort method, what it is taking?
2 arguments.
Two parameters. The first one is a list object and the second one is a comparator reference, right? Now, what does Ujjwala should do now? Can I say she should make use of this one, right? Now, let's go and do it. Now, collection dots employee list, and then what is now the second parameter is a comparator reference. Comparator is an interface in Java. Can you create an object to a interface directly?
No.
That is the reason we have created a class, implement the interface and override it. Now, can I create an object of this class and then pass it?
Yes.
So new comparator. Now, if you look at here from this line, from 63 line, now let's go to this comparator. Let's do minus plus 1. This is a reverse order, correct? Now, if I run the program, what should happen? Karthik logic should not modify. I mean, Karthik data should be ascending order of employee ID, and whatever the Ujjwala has written, it should be a descending order, correct? Now let's run the program and see. Now from this line of code, line number 63, will it call the employee class comparable?
No, sir. Comparator related custom class it will invoke.
Yeah, because you are passing a external comparator. So comparable will be bypassed by the external comparator. Okay. Now, if you look at the implementation, they will check internally whether you are, see, array list dot sort a comma comparator. If you are passing a comparator, it will call, you see, if it is a C equal to null, what is C? If your comparator reference is null, in the first method, here in the first time, in this line number 57, are you passing any comparator? No.
No.
That means the parameter you are, internally you are passing null, right? But here in this line number 63, are you passing a comparator? Yes. So now, if the comparator object is null, if the comparator equal to null, then there it is calling sort comma a, which you will call comparable or compare to method. But if it is not null, then it will call the comparator method that you have written. Now let's run this program first and see. See, I got the output. Now let's copy all of this. The printing employee ID, descending everything. Okay. Now let's do it. So now here, employee ID descending. If you look at here, this is the Karthik code, right? Employee ID 120, 121, 122, 123. So that means once Ujjwala has written the code, is the Karthik code is modified or not?
No.
No. No, but what is the logic that Ujjwala should do? Descending order of employee ID. Is it happening now? Look at here. Is it descending order of employee ID? 120, sorry, this is not the one. This is the printer. Let's remove this. See, 126, 125, 124, 123, 122, 121, 120, right? So now, which one approach should be fine? This one should be fine, right? I mean, sorting the data without disturbing this one, right? Now, for example, let us take Chiru got a requirement saying that sort the employees by name. Then what does the Chiru should do? Chiru should write a new comparator, correct? Because it's another logic, correct? Now, so generally, if you want to write a comparator, one way is you create a class, implement a comparator. Can I do directly? Collections dot sort. I'm passing employee list. Now, do you guys know anonymous object creation in Java, core Java?
Yes, sir.
So I can comparator is a interface. So I can do new comparator. If I do like this, see, now override the add unimplemented methods. Now, what is your generic employee object, correct? So now this is also an employee. Now, so generally in the earlier scenario, what did we do? In the earlier scenario, Ujjwala has written a class implementing a comparator interface and overriding this one. This is one way of doing it. And another way is creating, see, this is called as anonymous object creation. Now, what are you doing? Instead of creating separately, you are calling anonymous object creation in Java. Now, new comparator and the generics is employee. Now, what is the logic you want to do? By Chiru want to do the logic by the name, correct?
Name.
O1 dot get employee name. Employee, can I do less than greater than symbol on
No,
the
sir.
name?
No, sir. Here.
I should do compare to, correct? O2 dot get compare to. Sorry, get employee name. Now, can I say this is the logic of Chiru now? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, for example, JP wants to do employee salary descending. Then what does the JP should write a code? He should be writing another comparator. Now, so what is a comparator? Is it a function interface?
Yes, yes.
Since it is a function interface, can you write a lambda expression?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in order to write a lambda expression, you need to know but I'm just giving you the how to write the lambda expression, but that is not part of the data structure case. So whatever you want to understand that how to sort a array list, you can use this one. But if you are using, someone asked about the Java 8 feature, right? Collection dot sort. Now you pass the employee list, and the second parameter is comparable. Comparator. Comparator is a function interface. How many argument it is taking? There is a compare method, right? See, compare. So it is taking two parameters and returning int. So can I write a lambda expression? Yes. See, what are the two parameters? O1 comma O2. And then O1 dot get employee salary is lesser than O2 dot get employee salary. So I can write the lambda expression like this, right? So let me copy this here. Let's copy the same thing here, whatever is mentioned. Just a minute. So this, instead of employee ID, I will change it to employee salary. So I mean, what I'm trying to say here is you can write a lambda expression too. It does not relate it to a Java data structure, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Get employee salary. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Now, so that means what JP is doing, he want to sort the employee by salary. So he is sorting. Now let's print it. Employees is sort, employees, employee by salary. Now let's see. Let's print employee list and see whether it is sorting by salary or not. Employee by salary. Let's copy this object and then go to the notepad. See, what is the salary? Look at here. See, is it doing descending order? Correct. Now, if I want ascending, just change the symbols here. Put -1 here and +1 here. Now let's run the program. Now let's go here. See, employee salary, copy this, and let's go to the notepad and see. See, what is the minimum salary? First, 10,000, 14,000, 16,000, and then 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and 2,40,000. Correct. So now, can I say now? Now, since in all of us are project mates, and we were able to complete the implementation without touching all others code. Correct. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the reason why when to go for a comparator, when to go for a comparable. Comparable will have by default one logic. It can be a ascending order, it can be a descending order. And whenever you're using a collection.sort method, internally, it will call your generic comparable. But if you want say once you have implemented one logic, and if you want to, if some other project teammate want to use some other logic, then you go for a comparator. In the comparator, what do? You can create an anonymous object. You can create a lambda expression. You can create a separate class and implement a comparable interface and use the sort method. So whenever you're using a comparator, you have to use a sort method which takes two parameters. Any questions?
Karthik, I have a question on line number 76. That is the implementation of the compare method. So
yes.
Yeah, so we have a ternary operator there. So we are returning -1 in case if you don't want to do any sorting, because it is already sorted. And
no, it is not like that. It is not like that. So whenever, see, this line of code will be executed for each and every record, correct? This list may have any number of records, right? So here.
No. So okay, let's not consider this one. Go to the employee class. There we have implemented the compare method. Okay. Yeah. So here, right? So line number 35. So we are returning -1, and we are also returning +1, and we are also returning 0
yes.
At some point. So
So +1 is okay. Like I understood, like when do we return the +1? So in case if you want to sort it, then +1 should be returned. In case if it is already sorted, then -1.
No, it is not like that. It is not like that.
For descending, we go with in that way.
Yeah. So if you see now, how does it work is this dot get employee ID less than this one. See, first this is a current object, correct? And this O is nothing but a object that is getting passed, correct? See, first time, second object, third object, fourth object. So that means current whatever the object that you are passing will be compared with the current object. And if it is lesser, then -1 will be returned. Okay. At any
Because
point
it
of
is
time.
already sorted.
No, it is not about sorting. It is about it is returning a value. See here, for example, now this object is first time. This object and see, let us take in this employee. For example, let us take this is 123. Okay. Now you are passing 122. Now 123 is less than 122. Is it true?
No.
No. That means this -1. I mean, if it is a true, then my this one will be executed. If not, it is checking get employee ID equal to 123 equal to 122. No. Then 1 will be returned. Correct. Yeah. Now, based on this return type, internally the data structure will set the data. See, every time this method will be executing, and it will compare the current object with the past object. Okay, and then it will return +1, -1, 0. If it is 0 means objects are equal. If it is 1 means the past object is having a higher value than the existing current object. If it is -1 means past object is having a lesser value than the current object. I mean, the current object. So based on this -1, +1, 0, the data structure will store the data internally. Now, if you look at hash map internally, so in the hash map, or let us take tree map. See, tree map internally uses a comparator. So the way it will work is the put method. So if you look at the put method, internally it is calling now. If you look at here, tree, as I mentioned, the tree map is internally using a comparator. I'll explain that whenever it comes. But if you look at here, there is some comparator. So what is the comparator? What does the comparator will return? Any comparator or comparable, what it will return? Int number, correct? Yeah. So now if you look at in the tree map, see this compare. So compare not equal to null. See CPR dot compare key comma t comma key. So to this compare method, they are passing two objects. And what the compare method will return? Some number, correct? That number is nothing but int parameter. See, based on the, if it is less than 0, they are putting it at left side. If it is greater than 0, they are putting right side. If it is equal to 0, what does it mean? That object already exists, correct? See, tree map does not allow duplicates, right? Duplicate keys. So if your comparator is giving 0, what does it mean? The object is already present. See, then v equal to old object equal to t dots value. That means they are replacing the value. So based on now what I'm trying to say here is every time the compare to method gets called and it will return int by comparing the data, whatever the logic that you have written. Based on this +1, -1, 0, it internally the data structure will store the data. Hope you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about the comparator and comparable, guys. So now, I mean, I hope you guys understand when to go for a comparator, when to go for a comparable now.
Yes.
And if anybody does not understand line number 76, don't worry. This is a Java 8 implementation. Once you learn the Java 8 Lambda expression and all, you will be able to understand. I just have I wanted to show you that there are different ways of writing a code. One way is creating a separate class and implementing a comparator. This is one way. And another way is creating an anonymous inner class. And another way is Lambda expression. You can use any of the way. Anything, all the things are better. I mean, you can work with any of the things, but the only thing is if you are using this anonymous object or Lambda expression, see, Lambda expression means logic is completed within one line. Anonymous object means you are not creating a separate object. After the this line of code is completed, this object becomes garbage collected. But here, after this line of code is completed, still if you are running a class, this class will be loaded to a compiler. So there are some pros and cons, but it doesn't matter whatever you are using. So these are the different ways of writing a code. So today is the last demo class, and from tomorrow we'll get started with a hash map. So till now, whatever we have seen, internal implementation of array list, vector, difference between synchronization. I mean, what is a synchronization and how can we visualize it? And then how to sort the array list with a different data structures, right? Now from tomorrow onwards, we'll get started with a hash map. How does the hash map works internally? What does a put method will do? What does a get method will do? What does a remove method? And then hash set, how it will work. And then we'll look at sorting. The same questions can be asked, right? Sort the data of a hash map by value. Sort the data of a hash map by key. I mean, in the array list, we have only one object, but in the hash map, we have key and value. You can sort the data by key. You can sort the data by value, right? So that things we are going to see in the upcoming class.
So Karthik, one final question, right? So I remember you were saying that like you have prepared notes for this collections and DSA, right? So will you be sharing those notes once we register to this course?
Yes, yes. Let me show you that. This is the note that I prepared, guys. See array list. Array list extends the okay, default capacity now. What happens inside a add method, or what is the internal implementation of add method? Array list internally uses object array, first checks for capacity. If it is reached, then it will increment the capacity by 50%. So this, I mean, question and answer something like I have prepared. It is not copied somewhere. It is just a plain English. What internally happens whenever you call remove to method, right? See, once you read this, you will be able to recollect it, what I am trying to say. This is a notes, which was, I was saying that I will be giving these notes once I mean, in the WhatsApp, and then I'll upload it to a Ashok IT portal once the enrollments are completed. And whatever the code I am writing, this also will be shared with you all.
And these notes, right? So are these available only for the collection, and is it also available for the DSA as well?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
whatever I teach, I will give you the notes.
Okay, the PDF format. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if I, as I mentioned, right, I do teach threads, collections, Java 8, 9, 11. Look at here. These are Java 8 notes I prepared. See, what is the advantage of having default methods in Java 8? What is the advantage of having static methods? Lambda expression, right? Now function interface, by predicate, supplier, method reference. Now let's come down. You'll be seeing. Yeah, if see, write a lambda to count how many distinct employees are present. This is a question, this is an answer. What is a flat map? Now, all the programs which I'm going to explain in the class. But see, after some days, you might forget, right? But if you remember see, write a lambda to display the company names in sorted order. This is the answer. Write a program to sort the employees by name, right? Just now we have seen, look at here. If it is a stream, then employee list.stream you need to use. If it is a normal non-Java 8, collection.sort. It's a limit method, terminal. So whatever I teach, not only data structure, threading, core Java, advanced Java, whatever I teach, I have prepared the notes and I'll be sharing that notes. And these are the courses that these are not the first batch guys I am teaching. Data structures is the 11th batch I'm teaching. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes.
Hi, Karthik.
Yep.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already purchased this recorded video, and I want to continue this live session for the at least collection, because there is a time slot I can manage. So whatever the notes you shown with the source code, could you please send me, because I have the recorded video. So
yeah, once everyone, once you just get you added to the WhatsApp group, and I'll be sharing
Okay.
that in the group itself.
But that time maybe whatever you teach for the one day that you will going to share, right? Then second day,
No,
whatever
entire thing. Not see, notes is a PDF document which will contain in the entire collections. So I'll be sharing that. Okay, I cannot share individually, right? I mean, there will be 40 people, 50 people. I cannot go and share individually. I understand previously you have enrolled for multiple things, so I've shared
Yes,
it. But
yes.
now, since you will be part of this group and you will be added to the WhatsApp group, I will be sharing in the WhatsApp group itself. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So it's not possible to send me means whatever the notes you shown.
I'll be sharing. Just wait for a couple of days.
Okay.
You will be added to. Just get yourself added to a WhatsApp group of 29 collections, and then I'll
Okay.
share it over there.
Okay. That means that notes, even though I have purchased recorded video, but I didn't receive, it's confirmed, right?
What notes? I have shared the
What?
notes to you earlier, right? Just give me a minute. Let me stop recording it. Okay. You have pinged me over the WhatsApp earlier, right?
Yes, yes. Actually,
So,
that time I means for the 4 courses I enrolled. So
okay. And some
you
of the
sent.
courses I already gave the data, right?
Yes, 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 yes. But that I have not seen. That's why I asked.
See, that is what
What?
you missed it, right? I have already sent it. So you need it again. Then what you do is, since you will see, as I mentioned, you will be having one live session you can attend, one recording. Recordings already you got. Get
Okay.
yourself added to a 29 collections batch. Then I
Okay.
will be sharing the notes in that group once everyone is enrolled. Then
Okay.
it will not be missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone, guys? So if you are interested and if you think that it is adding some knowledge to you, then please do enroll. For enrollments,
Uh,
you can watch you can look at the email that you have received from the Ashok IT.
if possible, you shown that means 3 types. We can create the comparator class and then lambda expression and also inner class, anonymous inner class. That time you said that anonymous inner class, the means whatever you said, in case of comparator class it will get loaded every time, but in case of anonymous inner class it will not happen. If possible right now, could you please explain this?
I'll already 5 minutes on top of time.
Okay, okay,
Let me remind. I'll explain
okay,
in
okay.
upcoming class. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's all for today, guys.
Sir, actually, all classes will getting overlap because I have joined full stack Java course.
Okay.
It is 8:30. Sorry, 7:30.
Okay.
So it will get overlap, and your class is 8 p.m. 8 a.m.
Okay.
So how can I manage?
It's up to you. You need to choose one thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If, for example, take one example. If someone is giving you the money, someone is giving 2000 notes and someone is giving 500 notes.
But sir, yeah,
You
you
choose
have
both, right? And you'll manage something and you'll see. Do you say that no to the 500 rupees note and only take 2000? No, right?
actually
If you
you should manage the time, no?
no, see, that is what I don't teach the.
7 p.m. So
Why would I worry about the others' timing, right? I would be caring about the my timings. I've been teaching this from past 4 years. Because I'm
okay.
a working professional, I do get some time in the morning. These are the time slots fixed for me, right? See, because there are so many people are teaching in the morning, right?
Mm.
If I'm worried about that, what time they teach, then when will I teach? I have only, then I will get a time slot in the night 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you understand, right? I will not be worried about what others teaching, how do they teach, and what time do they teach. If see, I understand you are joining, that's good, but you have to see, you need to check which one is getting knowledge added for you, and which one can you manage with your recordings. See, even though you are saying that you are overlapped, you can attend one class, and if you are really concerned of learning, then you can look at the recordings and the later time in the day, and then complete it and then practice it. Correct?
Yeah.
You have to manage your day better. Yeah, because if you, as you mentioned, that if I am the one who is teaching 7:30 to 8:30 core Java, and then 8 to 9 DSA, then I agree with your point. But that is some other tutor. Like that, in the Ashok IT, there are 40 to 50 people who are teaching in the morning. If I have to coordinate, I will never get a time in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay. Just manage your timing and see which one best suited for you, and you can join accordingly.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.